I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks, that's right. We're the podcast that's a spin-off from the web series The Two Dicks. I'm Al Ducharme, Studio City, California, and that, ladies and gentlemen, to the side of me, I don't remember what side it is because I think it's reversed, is Al Romas in Tampa, Florida. He's indoors today. We're not getting the sunset like we normally do.
No, it's a little warm out there. I thought I'd mix it up. You know what I mean? For the thumbnail, make it look different, so people
Yeah.
grab it on YouTube and
People are like, oh my God, he's at the Met in New York City, or is that a Van Gogh behind him?
that's a Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
I was a different guy, not as popular, a little cheaper than
He
the
had
Van
two
Gogh.
ears. He had two
He had-
ears.
He had both ears and a full set of nuts, and his paintings go for a little cheaper. But yeah, I'm indoors. I was gonna, be outside, but we want the patrons to see different things. Join our Patreon, $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever you want to pay, and see the video.
People
See
still
where
don't
I
know what
am.
Patreon is.
It's
Patreon,
disgusting.
you become a member, you get exclusive videos and videos of this particular podcast and other things. You get prizes, you get gifts.
Merch.
Patreon.com/the two dicks. And as little as $5 a month.
You won't even notice it.
won't
Believe
even
$5. I spend more. I literally spend more than that on a cup of Joe. I get a cappuccino and it's like $5.85. So that's a month's worth of videos of the two dicks, the talking dicks, and other stuff we post. We put up other stuff that no one else is seeing. So anyway, do that. Patreon.com/the two dicks. But you talk about people not knowing what's happening. You know what I mean? People don't know. They don't know what's happening. People don't know.
No.
Well, yesterday, sir,
Yes.
I have a storage unit. I have some stuff in storage, and I tried to pay it online. Every month I pay it online, storage, pay it online, and it's $100 a month. That's the price, $100 a month. Not bad, right?
No, not bad.
Speaking of Joe,
2021 pandemic, not bad.
delish out of a two dicks mug, delish. Anyway, I couldn't get the payment online to go. Wouldn't go. So I'm like, so. But I'm driving around yesterday and I see this. I'm right there at the storage unit. So I go, I will stop in. I will make the payment in person, and I'll be on my way. So I get in the place, and the guy behind, he's running the office. You know what I mean? This guy. And know what I've come to realize? You can tell a guy's intelligence by his haircut. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. This guy had the Floby bowl, chopped up, fucking weird, just a mess. And I walk in, I go, this guy's a fucking doofus. I can tell right away.
But it's a pandemic, so you're not giving any margin of
No. I've had a professional haircut every 5 weeks since COVID started.
Look at this.
I can't. That's a disaster.
Look at that.
Yeah, put the hat back on.
I am.
People, be happy you're not a patron right now.
You see in the back. The back.
You don't want to.
I've got like 6 inches of hair sticking out of the back. It looks like my pubes.
Hey now. So I see, and then the guy's got the mask on under the chin. Under the chin.
Under the chin.
The old blue mask under the chin. The Floby weird haircut, and just enormous glasses. So I walk in. I go, hey man, I got to. I'm like, oh shit. This is gonna go nowhere. And anyway, I go. I need to pay unit. Whatever, 400 monthly rent. He goes, oh okay. So I give him my card, and he goes to swipe it. He goes, that's $144. So right before he swipes, I go, whoa. I go, it's $100. $100. He goes, yeah, $144. Okay. I go, no. And I me, I don't have a lot of patience. So
I can verify that, ladies and gentlemen. Al Romas. He gets there quick.
Yeah. Hey now, ladies. Don't be. What are you doing? So,
different subject.
Different. Yes, of course. We're talking about online and things. So I go, and I'm trying to be nice because I can tell this guy, it's an IQ of a fucking, peanut here, and I'm like, dude, I go, it's $100 every month. I go, it's $100. He goes, right, 144. Now I'm almost like gonna laugh because it's like it's so dumb, and I'm looking around like this can't be real. Like what? I go, $100 a month. That's the charge for the unit. And he goes, yes, sir, $144. I go, no, give me my card. Give me the card. He goes to hand me the card back. I go, I'll pay it online tomorrow. I go, I'm just letting you know the price is $100. And I do like 2 circles. $100. And he goes, yeah, that's what I keep saying.
Oh my God.
I go, dude. He turns the computer around. He goes, here, I'm saying that. It was $100.44.
Oh my Lord.
This is how my man.
Wow.
My man says 100.
How are you not in prison right now for first-degree murder?
It was close, man. I'm telling you, it was. If I hadn't had lunch already, or if I had been hungry, or it was. He says $100.44 as $144.
Right.
That's how he did it. And I go, dude. I go, it's 144. That's cents, not dollars.
Well, not to say there's not intelligent people working at storage unit places, but
there are not.
If you're the owner of the storage unit place and you're working the counter, at some point you're going to have to hire people to cover for you. And sometimes those people are, early releasers or just people
early born. I think he was born about 4 months early.
Yeah, he was born.
That head is fucking soft, man.
He was born 44 months early.
Holy God. Best part of you came out, slipped down your mother's ass. Holy shit. What a incredible.
I was struck by a vehicle when I was 8 years old. If he was struck by a vehicle, it probably would have improved his mindset.
Yeah, well, I was going to wait and strike him with my vehicle at the end of his shift. And then he apologized because he knew. I showed him. I go, that's 44 cents. That's how you say it, cents. It's $100. I go, every unit that size is the same price, $100.44. And then he goes, then I felt bad. Then he's like, I'm sorry. And it was kind of like, oh.
You know why? Because you were reprimanding him, and he's a child. He's a man-child. How old was he? What do you think his age was?
He was in his 30s. He had one of those mustaches, though, like a 12-year-old, like 6 hairs going different ways.
Right. He
couldn't grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all, I think mama knew daddy, and then there was some meth involved. And,
was acne? A lot of acne?
Just on his ass.
Wow. You really taught him a lesson, didn't you?
Well.
You turn the tables on him.
He's inbred anyway. What the hell?
Right, that's what I'm saying. You turn the tables on him. This is how we city folk do it.
I'll get 44 cents worth of fun. So, then he's like, I'm sorry.
It's so funny because
I'm just letting you know. It's $100.44. That's it. Bye. Gone.
My storage unit story goes back about 20 years ago when I was paying $35 a month because I was keeping some stuff in there, some antiques that I acquired over the years, and I couldn't fit them in my New York City apartment because I went from a house. I went from a 3-bedroom house to a fucking studio apartment. Anyways, so I put it in storage for like 3 years. I ended up spending more than the stuff was worth in rent. But this is before, computers, internet, not before computers, but before online payments and whatnot. So I had to mail it in. So sometimes when I'd go on the road, like a college tour, I'd mail in 2 months.
You'd mail in your show, let's be honest.
I'd mail in my show. I would send $70 in sometimes because I knew whatever. So I go there to the storage unit one time, and it's got a big padlock on it. And the guy, I go, hey, it's a big padlock. He goes, yeah, you didn't pay your bill. I said, I paid 2 months. So I'm good for 60 days. He goes, oh, we only got one payment. And I'm like, yes, for $70 for 2 months. It was the same guy. It was the
guy's father.
It was his father.
Yeah.
No. You skipped a month. I'm like, so I just happened to have some cancellation thing on me. Something I had on me. Like you tear off a receipt.
Right.
or can't something. I had something on me to prove it. And
You were canceled. You had that.
And he did the same. He said the same thing. He went, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
And then he got into like a golf cart and drove to my unit without me, ahead of me, unlocked it, and then drove past me. Says, "It's unlocked now." Didn't even give me a ride. It was like 100 yards. It was 100 yards, but still,
I guess the dumb guy move is to just say you're sorry. You know what I mean? When you get caught being a dumb guy, you just go, "Oh, sorry." Mm-hmm. That's the move. Because what else are you gonna do? You can't just stand there. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. That's the go-to. And then you stand there, and then you feel a little bad. You go, "Well, he's fucking dumb." I mean, a year ago he would have been retarded, but now we can't say that. So he's just a dumb guy. Somehow that's not bad.
Not bright. You can say not bright. There's ways you can skirt around. You can say a lot of things to insult people. Yeah. You can actually you can say things that may be racist if you know how to say it.
Right. Yeah.
Like if I called you a cracker, is that racist?
I think it's a no.
Because we're the same color?
And I'm not from the South, or I think you have to be from the South to be a cracker to begin with. Isn't that? I don't think it's just whitey. I think a cracker is a Southern whitey.
Oh, like a slave owner?
Or just a guy from like Alabama, kind of white guy. He's a cracker. Right. I mean, I'm a Yankee. I'm more Yankee. You're a Yankee.
Yeah, but I was called a cracker.
Yeah, but that's from someone who didn't know what they were doing.
It was a college student.
Calling you. Well, he saw you mail in that goddamn show, and he got annoyed. Said, "Hey, you fucking cracker, what are you doing?"
I bet I got paid more than you did for that gig.
We paid our tuition to hear you make sound effects for an hour. Now get back up there and make some fucking noises. Let's go.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You were there.
I want an hour of noises.
You were there. You were opening for me.
I don't want any chatter from you. I want noises, goddammit.
We hired a sound guy.
Fuck your joke. Start squawking like Star Wars. Let's go.
First of all, the sound guy is in the booth working the sound. I am an artist. I'm a sound artist.
A sound artist. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Good to have that straight.
I just coined that. Oh my goodness.
An envelope artist.
Do we have
questions?
Woo! Yeah. My favorite part of the comedy podcast.
We have a question. Okay, this is a question, and this is you can ask these on Instagram. This one came on Instagram story. Mm-hmm. This question was asked from this is from one Hannah Dorr, who lives in Maryland, mm-hmm. and people may remember she was a guest. She's my niece, and she was a guest on a Talking Dicks episode back during Christmas time.
A longtime follower and supporter of these two idiots.
That's true.
I can't even say two dicks when talking about your niece. I just feel weird about it.
Good. keep that going. Let's see the question here. Oh, here we go. How did you get into comedy? This is actually for Ducharme. I know Romas' story, but Romas is also welcome to share. Oh, thank you, my lovely niece. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah, for your question.
Alfred, mm-hmm. I guess the floor is yours, and you can tell us how you became a noise artist or whatever it's called.
A noise artist. As a young lad, prior to stand-up comedy, did you do your little snore thing? Did you sneak that in there?
I'm working on my noise art.
You're stealing the sound. See, all comedians do sounds. Mm-hmm. Every single comedian has done a sound effect in their act at one point or another. They may not do it anymore, but at some point they've done whether it's a little snort, or something, or a voice, or a high-pitched voice, or a woman's voice. They've all done it. So prior to stand-up comedy, I was doing reel-to-reel recordings on the big reel-to-reel, what is it, 1/8 inch tracks. My parents had this. You know what I'm talking about with the big circles?
Yeah. I was thinking it was 1/8. I think it was 1/8.
Yeah, and the sound quality was incredible, and it had a big 1/4 inch RCA plug-in microphone with a big thick cord. It was like a real NBC News microphone. It sounded awesome. So I would get together with my friends and we'd write little stories. And I had a sound effects album. This is albums. And you had to actually put the needle on each sound effect that you wanted. And there was a list of the sound effects on the albums. or on the album cover. So you had to look and say, okay, put it on number 7 and play the sound effect. Of course, in rehearsal, that was easy. But when we were recording, live recording, you couldn't put the sound. It was too difficult. So I started doing them with my voice. It was easier for me just to do the sound effects. You know, a gun cocking, a door opening. So let's move ahead a few years. We're looking for talent night, magicians, singers, and comedians to perform and win cash prizes. Well, I was always a performer throughout school, class clown.
And you got that door cocking thing in your back pocket.
That's right.
You're ready to go.
That's right. So I can
do a door cocking.
I put together 5 minutes of material of impressions and sound effects and storytelling, which I was doing with my friends on this big reel-to-reel recorder, and I brought it to the stage, and the audience loved it. And then I did some stand-up comedy with another comedian guy, and we were a comedy team for about 3 performances. Yeah.
Oh, did he continue on?
He did.
And that man was?
We're not speaking, so I'm not even going to mention his name. I'm not even going to give him credit. But we performed 3 times together live, and then we went it was Kevin Hart.
It was Kevin Hart.
It was Kevin Hart. And I outgrew him. Thank you very much.
Because he's small.
So I had started doing it by myself, and I incorporated my impressions and my sound effects and storytelling styles. And I started getting offers to open up for bigger comedians. And that's how it all started at Periwinkle's at Noah's Arcade in downtown Providence, Rhode Island.
Well, there you go.
How about that?
I knew most of that. That was good. Good backstory.
Let's hear yours.
I was.
I think it was in episode 41, but I'd like to hear it now. This is 95.
Mine? No.
This is episode. This is volume 95.
Oh, volume. Is it? We're at volume 95. They said it couldn't be done.
They didn't think we would make it to 10.
They didn't. They said, no, you're not going to do 50 of these. You're not going to do. We're going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
We're 5 away from 100. 100 in the books, complete volumes.
And the critics panned us, and we kept going, and we got so bad we became good.
Well, let's not get crazy. We just kept we kept going. We kept going until that door cocking story, and then we hit a wall just now. Once the door cocked at midnight, we hit a wall.
Yep.
But this will actually be, we're coming up on volume $144. If we should have that tard from
144.
140 volume 144.
I know what you're thinking. This here is 144 Magnum. No, not the same. Not the same.
Go see. Close.
How much did you pay Hannah to send in a question, by the way?
$144. She must be bored.
That's the $144 question.
She's doing college virtually. They just moved. She must be bored going, all right, I'll ask a goddamn question. What the hell?
Sure.
We'll hear Ducharme's backstory. You know, why not? She
is such a good person. She gave up. You went to visit for the holidays, and she gave up her digs, her bedroom, for her middle-aged, smelly uncle. I mean, that's cool.
That was pretty good, huh? Yeah, not bad. I was ready for the couch, and she said, no, you can have the room. And then she was out. She had friends. She was doing some sleepovers. But it was great not to have to crash on the couch, which, I was ready to. I mean, we've all done it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do it about once a week when I get into a fight with my wife.
That's it. Just once a week? That's not bad. That's not bad. Once a week?
Once a week's not bad.
Not bad. All right, so that was it. If you have a question you want to ask us, just go on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and type in a question. Patrons can do it on Patreon. We had a message from
Paul Francis Riley,
who never saw Heat. He's actually about 15 volumes behind us right now.
Paul, he's a smart dude, but he'll go into these periods where he just like checks out from society, and he's an artist too.
So that's good.
He kind of then he comes back, and then he's like, "Wow, what have I been missing?" He's like Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle.
They used to call Brian Regan Rip in college. That was his nickname because he slept all day. He didn't go to classes, so his nickname was Rip. So if he's doing a gig and old college guys come to see him, they're always like, "Hey, where's Rip? You gotta say hi to Rip." Like, who's that? It's Brian.
I just saw him in Louder Milk, the Peter Farrelly thing with Jackie Flynn. Jackie showed us on his computer, on his laptop, whatever.
I saw a few of those, with Brian.
Yeah, he was like, this particular episode was all about him and going to anger management and whatnot. He was pretty good. Yeah, he's got some acting chops there, as well as Jackie. So that was pretty good. And
he's got a new Netflix special. Came out yesterday. I haven't seen it yet, but I saw some clips online. Looked fun. He went with the gray hair. He stopped dyeing the hair.
He stopped it. Yep.
It's all white. I think that's his opening. He came out and said, "Let's address it right now. Get it out of the way." But
we're getting off track because I still want to hear a recap of how you started out in stand-up comedy.
Oh, it's an old story, Alfred. I was in the Navy down in Norfolk.
Navy. Hi, sailor. Do you want the top or the bottom bunk?
Okay. Is that? I keep forgetting you're a voice artist. So I'll just go with it. All good. But I was doing 12-hour shifts on the ship, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And so while I was doing that, I was writing little jokes for I don't know why. I was just writing jokes. I thought, maybe I'll do some stand-up sometime. And there was an open mic night at a bar in Norfolk. Friar Tuck's had an open mic night. I saw the thing. I went down, and I just went on stage with these little jokes. And eventually, I kept going every Tuesday. Just kept going back and back and back. And then the owners of the Virginia Beach Comedy Club asked me if I would want to MC a weekend. And I did. And then I got out of the Navy, and I stayed in Virginia for a year. And I became sort of like there were 3 of us, or 4 of us. We became like the MCs, and she had a few other clubs. And remember Anita Fletcher? Did you ever work any of those comedy club gigs?
I did.
Richmond, Nag's Head.
I did the Nag's Head for her a gazillion years ago.
Yeah.
Those are fun gigs.
That was a fitting name for her, wasn't it? Nag's Head. Just fit perfectly. But and then I moved to New York, and then we just started comedy. But it was one of those things where you just it was fun to do, and didn't really give it a lot of thought of, I'm going to be doing this in 10 years or 20 years or whatever. I just thought, well, this is fun to do, and I like doing this, and the guys I was hanging with, they were cool. I mean, especially in Virginia, there were only like a handful of guys who were comedians. And out of that handful, there was only 1 or 2 that were, really should have been doing it. And
that one of them was you.
Like me and like John Shipman. Remember Big Johnny?
Oh, yeah. I love Johnny.
That's how I met John. He was living in Virginia. He just got out of college. And he wandered in one night. And then we became, buddies. And Patton Oswalt drove down one night from he was going to college at William and Mary. This is how hard it was in those days to find stage time. He had heard about a bar in Norfolk. So he drove down from William and Mary and did a set, a few minutes, and we thought he was fucking hilarious. Hilarious. And I remember Anita Fletcher, the queen of comedy down there, was like, not funny. Not funny. Yeah. It was like, okay, yeah, this is the guy who's going to kind of transform fucking comedy, but good miss on that one. You know what I'm saying? But
well,
but there were only
he was a student
5
too,
or 6
so
guys.
She didn't want to give him any, she wanted him to earn it.
She didn't see it. Let's be honest. She didn't see it.
Blind as a bat.
No. Yeah. And then then I left, and John went to Rhode Island, and I'm sure that's where you ran into him, probably in Boston.
I
or
did.
Rhode
Tom
Island.
Cotter kind of said, "Hey, check out Shipman. This guy John Shipman." the tall dude.
Mm-hmm.
And John's like 7 foot 12 feet, something, whatever he is.
I think he's in the 7 feet.
He's 7.
Range.
Yeah, I think he's an inch shorter than Wilt Chamberlain was.
I don't know this. I don't know his stats offhand, but I think he's about 90. It's like 90 pounds and 7'4". I don't know.
Yeah, he's a slender, tall fellow with a commanding presence.
Yeah, and he had funny jokes.
No,
he was
funny.
good.
Funny.
He was a good comic. He had a great line. I think it was his line. I hope it was his line, where he said something like, you need good tires to be a comedian. I think that's it. And he was just tired of. It was like, I don't want to fucking drive around the country.
Yeah.
Because it's. Again, that's one of those things you don't know. Now I think
it's such a risk.
You can read everything about comedy, and there's so much blogs and podcasts. But when we started, you didn't know anything, and then you would just get a gig, and they'd be like, "You want to be in Jacksonville, Florida next week?" Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, get in your car, drive to Jacksonville,
and pick up Joe Schmo on the way, and he'll throw you gas money, and then he doesn't throw you gas money. He doesn't even bring it up.
No, he's the headliner. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, can you kick in a little bit for gas money? Oh, they said that you were being paid for that.
Right.
Or something.
Right. Yeah.
You're making a fraction of what they're making. You're losing money on the gig.
Well, of course. Remember when you book it though, and you sit down and you go, well, if I make this a night, I'm coming home with like $2,000.
Yeah.
And somehow you come home with nothing.
Yeah. So it was. If you started averaging, I remember during one of the comedy booms. There were two of them, but one of them, I had to turn work away. There were bars, clubs, restaurants, afternoon gigs, and they just wanted a body. I remember that.
They wanted a voice artist. I mean, they had comedians and storytellers and jokers, but they didn't have a voice artist.
They just needed a body up there. They
knew you were doing a door cockpit.
They needed 3 people on stage at like 20 different gigs a night.
As did the TV shows. I mean, they used to call it like jury duty to do Evening at the Improv.
I did it.
Shows.
I did it.
They ran out. They were just like, come on.
I was on the last wave, so I knew that they were desperate to get that extra season, and because Bud Friedman would make millions of dollars if he could get 30 comics per season or 40 comics per season on that, then he would sell that, syndicated, a package it, DVD.
He's still making money.
He makes
things running on Amazon.
He's like 80 now, and he's.
I think didn't he die?
No, is he?
I thought he died. I don't know. I thought we lost Bud.
Did we lose Bud?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Ask Paul Riley. Paul Riley would know.
Paul Freights.
Paul Francis Riley.
Paul Freights. Isn't it Paul Freights?
No, Brian Freights.
Brian.
I did a call back to Paul Francis Riley being in a coma, and then he comes out with all these facts or looking to.
Oh, that was my question. That was the thing we were talking about. Just as an aside, Paul Francis Riley has never seen the movie Heat.
Right.
What? How do you miss Heat? For God's sake! I mean, I don't know how you miss it, from the theater to the TV to just even a cut-up version on TBS at 10 p.m.
Paul, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't see Heat, but not nearly as disappointed as Al Romas. So,
well, I hold PFR to a certain standard, and I was a little disappointed when he wrote, "You know what? I haven't seen Heat." Like, what the fuck? How do you not?
Well, first of all, how do you admit that? That's my issue.
Ballsy.
You don't even bring it up. What you do, Paul, is you watch it in secret, and then you bring it up, saying, "Oh, you know what? I just watched again," and you lie. This honesty thing doesn't make you look good, Paul.
You go, you know what I watched for the 144th time, and they tie it all into our podcast. See what I just did? See that, Alfred? I put a bow on this episode.
I know, this is great.
I wrapped it up for you, nice and here's a double clap.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
No, really, don't mess with me, because I don't come down to the bus station and slap the dick out of your mouth when you're working, do I? Oh, get on up here, motherfucker. Give me security. I'm sorry, man. The guy fucking came at me. What do you think, folks?
No way.
Okay, show.
Subscribe.
Mary.
Go to patreon.com/forward-the-2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.